Hi, my name is Joko. I'm an IELTS instructor based in Yangon, Myanmar, and welcome to another lesson. I really think I try to make these into lessons that more than one person can gain from. This is somebody's essay here, but that way, yeah, over there. But there are certain things in it, a couple of concepts that more than one person does. Two important lessons to hear tonight. To learn from Pamela, maybe Pestana. First thing I learned is look what I can do with the beer. I can hide my the green screen. Okay, that's silly. But look. Oh, it's her first post. It gives you a starting point, a place to improve from. Okay, kindly evaluate my essay. I'll try to be kind. All right. And she's from Brazil and is educated person and friends with Clara. And she shares something in common with Clara de something, in that she has misunderstood the question. Well, specifically, not taking into account, not paying attention to every single word of the question. That's important. You need to understand, particularly qualifying words. What are those? Well, let's look at our question. This is I think it's an official question. I've seen it before. Individuals can do nothing to improve the environment. Nothing. Zero. That's absolute, right? To improve the environment. Only governments and large companies can make a difference. And of course, other key words here are environment and improve. What do they mean by these things? The environment. So when analyzing the question, the most important part when being asked to what extent an opinion question is that you identify exactly what it is that you're being asked to agree or disagree with. And that includes these qualifying words. Okay? Individuals can do nothing. You have to also then correctly express that understanding. What do I mean? So first, you need to understand what the examiners mean when they put a question about the environment on a test. What is the environment? Is it like, my street? Is it, my town? No, it's the planet we're talking about here. Is it saving endangered species? Well, sort of. But I think generally speaking, people agree that the way you save endangered species is through protecting their habitats. So protecting the natural environments, the natural, wildlands in which they live. And now, I'm not an expert on environmental studies. How can I do well in this type of question? You don't. But with the big five, you need to understand the terms that are commonly used in English to discuss these global, universal issues. With the environment, again, we mean, when we say the environment, we don't mean, litter. Or we mean a lot more than litter. We don't mean saving the dolphins. It's a lot bigger than that. Oh, the big five are the environment. And really they mean climate change. That's what they mean. Education, parenting, raising children, the effects of modern technology on people, and work. These are, you're going to find one of these big topics in most, if not 90% of task 2 questions that I've seen. I actually wrote one the other day where it included all 5 of those topics. Oh, I can't remember what it was. Something like, parents need to demand that education include training in how to handle modern technology in the workplace. Oh, I forgot the environment. Anyway, point being, these are the big 5. Read on this. Learn as much as you can. It's not a knowledge test, but at least understand the words that we use to talk about these things. So let's go into the essay. Let me explain for Pamea what our colors mean here. Orange, which kind of gets kind of yellow at times. I'll try to make that darker. It used to be red, but red was too hostile. Means task response. Do these words support your main ideas? Do they contradict your main ideas? Do they show an understanding of the question or the opposite? Really, C and C. Coherence, which means understandability and readability. Does it, and then cohesion, which is connected in that does it flow? Are the ideas, does one idea lead to the next logically, or is it just a bunch of random ideas put together? Also included in this is paragraphing and referencing, using a proper use of pronouns and other referencing devices. Can you hear this? I don't know if you can. Pop, pop, pop the popcorn. It is believed. I don't like starting an essay using the impersonal passive, which is what we have here. It is believed. It is said. It is thought. It seems kind of weak, by some, the governments and great companies can enhance the environment situation while people cannot do much. Right. Great and large. Here's one common myth about paraphrasing, that you can just take words out and put new words in that are similar, and that's paraphrasing. No, there are very, very few true synonyms in English. If you want to say large, as in quantity, a large amount, then yes, great works. But great companies refers to their quality. Oh, I work for a great company. I don't mean a large company. I mean it's really good. Remember, great means more than just large. Can enhance. Improve, enhance. Not the same in this case. We're going to enhance the environment. We're going to put some track lighting in here, and maybe some new curtains. That will really enhance the environment. We're talking about saving the planet here. The environment situation. Be very careful using nouns together. Environment's a noun. Situation is a noun. They don't like to sit next to each other. They poke at each other. It should be environmental, which would be an adjective. Yeah, that's okay. The situation of the environment, too wordy. Just say the environment. It's okay. While people, it is believed by some, while people cannot do much. Well, you've missed both of the key words of the question. The key word here is can do nothing, not cannot do much. That's not the question. And here, only governments and companies. Where's the only part in there? It's a major, significant part of what you're talking about. Only. That makes it a lot easier, actually, if it's just only. It makes it, because, all you have to do, if you want to disagree, which you do, is show something. Done by people. Now, wait a minute. Isn't everything done by people? In a way, yes, but I'm doing this as a person. If I was doing this tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'd be doing it for a great company because I would be doing it as part of my job. All right. And then I'm not a person anymore. I'm a great company. I work for a great company. Sabar dan tunggu. All right. So it's a good introduction. It's not too big. And that's the problem that a lot of people run into. Oh, let's see if that website's working yet. 13 minutes in, I got to get it going here. There is much people can do. Grammatically, that's not totally incorrect, but much and many, we use those primarily in negative sentences and in questions. Is there much people can do? Oh, yes, there is. There's a lot they can do. A lot means much in this context. So, I mean, it's correct later when you use much in a negative, but generally speaking, I taught this just the other day in my pre-intermediate, A2 level class. All right, can do in order to improve the environment. Now, just because you've got out of the first paragraph, out of the introduction, doesn't mean that you can now suddenly take big blocks of words, like 4 in a row, too many, from the question. The question says, to improve the environment. To improve the environment. No, don't do that. First. How about firstly? First. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's the first. Well, we need some kind of transition here. Some kind of connection between the end of the introduction and the beginning of the body paragraph. Now, is this a main idea? Can you say, I disagree with that statement. First point. There's much people can do. Well, no, you're just saying you disagree. That's not really an idea. I will say there's a lot people can do, and then I will just list things that people can do. No. That's not how you should write this type of essay. Instead, yes, you can say that there's a lot people can do. Perhaps most significantly, they can do this. And then you go on and explain what this is, how it's done by an individual, and how it improves the environment. Okay, you got to get those in there. You can't just say, oh, there's a lot of people can do. They can do this, this, and this. There, done. No. It's not how this game works. So, when you say, schools can teach students about the importance of nature in our life and how we're all part of a greater system that relies on either plants or animals to keep on existing. Second, no, this is your idea, and you don't extend it. I mean, it's already really long, but one sentence which presents your idea is not enough. And then there is the perhaps more fatal error in this paragraph, in this essay, is that your example of what people, individuals, private individuals can do is schools. Now, wait a minute. I don't know how it is in Brazil, but pretty much anywhere in the world, one of the main functions of government is to provide schools. Schools are government. So, to contradict the fact that only governments can do things, you've given an example of how government can do something. Okay, the importance of nature in our life. How many of us are there? Is it just our life? Is it life? No, it's our lives. And nature. What do you mean? What is that? What is it? The importance of nature. Oh, we'll get to it. Okay, and how we're all We're all part of a greater system that relies on either plants or animals to keep on existing. No, it doesn't. Well, I guess plants, we got to eat, but agriculture is not nature. Do you think plants are all just going to disappear? No. All the wheat and the corn and the cattle, that's not nature. They're alive, but it's not nature. It's not the environment. So this is all fluff. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't really make sense to keep on existing. Huh? What do you mean? But no, you don't explain it. You just go on to the next point. Teachers and pupils. Once again, even though it's a teacher, it's an individual, part of a school, and school is government. Can develop different projects. Well, it's pretty vague. What is that? What is it? That's not very focused. To help with, here we are, to help with the reforestation. Well, it sounds like the different projects would be planting trees, teaching centers, and schools. Owned by who? The government. I work at a teaching center, and there ain't no place in downtown Yangon where we can go plant trees. Third, individuals have the power to raise awareness about, not towards, different environmental issues. Really? How? You need to extend that idea and develop it. Explain what individuals can do. Oh, they can raise awareness. Well, fine, that's your idea. Now support it. What are they going to do? Oh, but by the way, not just in general, in their workplace. And where do they work? At a great company. So our support here for contradicting the idea that only government and companies can do things is government, companies. Following, now maybe in Portuguese that's a connector, but in English, following is not a connecting, it's not a cohesive device. This is not used to connect ideas. It's an adjective to describe a noun. The greenhouse gases, greenhouse, just, there's no apostrophe needed there, and I would just say greenhouse gas emissions by choosing different type of transports. Transport is an uncountable noun, so no S. For instance, instead of using a vehicle powered by fossil fuels, how about a car? How about driving? Using a vehicle powered by fossil fuels. Instead of driving a car, it makes it so much clearer. You're not getting any vocabulary points out of a vehicle powered by fossil fuels. A person can use a bicycle or another form of clean transport. People can use a bicycle. People can use bicycles. All right, to go to work. Work! Employers, where do they work? Great companies. Men and women, people, also have the potential to. How about can? Well, you said can before, but it's just wordy. To develop recycling projects in their communities. Individuals can do that. Every place I've ever been that has a recycling program, and I'm from the United States, and we have a lot of them, it's run by the city. It's run by the government. It's run by the same people who pick up the trash. Or the government hires people to do that. It's simply a lot more effective and efficient for governments to do these kinds of things than, hey, Bob, let's start a recycling program in our neighborhood. Doesn't work that way. In their communities, so the rubbish produced by them, how about their rubbish, does not pollute natural areas. Okay. Such as, the sea. A recent study by Cambridge Institute, never heard of Cambridge Institute, who's that? Has shown that 89% of plastic materials, plastics, used by humans, don't ever say humans, used by humans. How about, that 89% of plastic, we know it's used by people. Who else is using it? Dogs and cats? Are thrown in rivers or sea, the sea. Thrown into, end up in. Yes, I need to go down to the river and throw my plastic in there. Which causes the death of many marine mammals. Forget about the turtles and the fish. No, we don't care about that. Just marine mammals, such as whales and dolphins. Yes, projects created to protect these species. We only care about the dolphins and whales because they will keep the balance of the environment. How? The dolphins are going to save the planet? To sum up, nope, too informal. It is easy to take for granted that the environment. Really? You haven't said this before. You have to say, if your conclusion is recapping what you've said. And this is a brand new idea. Don't bring up anything new in the conclusion. But there are different things don't use we, can do to save the nature of our planet. Now, the nature of is a collocation. And we say, the nature of this business, the nature of my wife, the nature of, I don't have a wife, but the nature of this problem. And when we use the nature of, we mean the qualities, the characteristics, the specifics, or not the specifics, the overall qualities of the thing. That's the nature of something. So we can save nature, or we can save the planet. One of those two. Not the nature of our planet. Well, but the environment, where did that come in? No, I don't care about the environment. Just the dolphins. Save them. Okay, you have been Jokified. What have you learned? Hopefully, first, every word matters. Okay, when it says only companies, it's not just there for so that you can put that in the introduction. Only companies. You didn't mention how other, it doesn't have to be companies, and it can be churches or community organizations or other things. But only companies and government? And that there's nothing people can do? You don't have to save, not people can save the planet, but people can improve the environment by doing things like, denying a plastic bag or eating less red meat or, like you said, riding a bicycle. But you could have taken riding a bicycle and expanded that, extended it, explain how if you ride a bicycle, then you're not burning fossil fuels and you're not adding CO2 to the atmosphere, and you're and then this in a small way improves the environment. But you can't just say riding a bicycle is one. Taking other recycle and okay, so just listing what people can do? No. Find one thing. That's all you have to do. One thing. One idea per paragraph. Bicycle. In addition, people can also reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. People can improve the environment by reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. This is easily done on an individual level by simply choosing a non-polluting form of transport. The bicycle is a great example of an effective and easy-to-use way that anyone, well, unless they live 50 miles from their work, that most people can use to improve, to have a positive impact on the environment. Bicycles do not require fossil fuels. And as the greenhouse effect is recognized as being a main cause of global warming, every ounce of CO2 in the atmosphere makes a difference. That's an extended, supported idea. Just one. But that's all you need, is one. Okay. 30 minutes, Jesus Christ.